Oh, where Bruce is. Gosh, really late.
Hold up, the scouts are gonna lead us in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Go. So we're going to start off with the pledge, and what a great evening. And we got two awesome fellas that are going to lead us. So we've got John Valentine, who's a 7th grader at Huntsville Middle School, and Saint Valentine, who's a 9th grader at Huntsville High School. And we're very proud of them and proud for them to be here tonight, and they're going to lead us. So, okay, guys.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, fellas. Good job.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day, and God, we just thank you for this time tonight that's set aside to do business for the Huntsville School District. God, we thank you for the people of St. Paul, and we thank you for the great meal that we had earlier, and God, we just pray that tonight's meeting that we would make decisions that are what's best for kids, and God, that they would be honoring to you. God, I do pray for our armed forces right now as we're currently in a conflict. And God, I just pray for protection for them. God, I pray that your will would be done in that situation, and that ultimately right would prevail. And God, I just pray once again that you'd be with this meeting tonight and bless it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Call this March 3rd, 2026 meeting to order.
And Paula, I don't guess we had anybody sign up for public comment? None? Okay. So we'll move on first to our recognitions, and up first we have Huntsville High School.
Huntsville High School has 6 words that embody what we try to instill in our students. EAGLES, those 6 letters, and they stand for excellence, accountability, grit, learning, empowerment, and service. And when we started doing this Student of the Month thing, we wanted to find students who best exemplified that. And we surveyed the teachers and got some feedback from them. And we landed on a young lady by the name of Maya Hatfield, outstanding young lady. And I want to read a couple of things that teachers said about her. It said, Maya exemplifies everything we want being an eagle to me. She strives for excellence, holds herself and others accountable, exhibits great grit, exemplifies learning, embodies empowerment of herself and others, and is constantly serving not only the school, but the greater Huntsville community. Another teacher says, excellent in every way, positive, inquisitive, hardworking, funny, responsible, kind-hearted, one of the most responsible students I know, always willing to learn something new. And then one more, Maya meets all of these standards, Eagles, to a degree that I find acceptable and in line with what we want it to mean to be an Eagle. So we're very proud of Maya Hatfield, and I want to tell you before she comes up here, Miss Watkins and I decided after we talked to her a little bit, you need to hear this young lady talk just for a minute so you can fully appreciate who she is. So if you welcome Maya Hatfield.
Thank you. Hi, thank you for gathering here, letting me talk. Whenever I was called into the office today, I swear I'd done something wrong. I had not. And they asked me to talk about my future plans. I plan on attending the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville. I want to go for my secondary education degree. I would like to be certified in special education with focus in behavioral and emotional disorders. And the job that I'm striving for currently is to be a teacher at a residential behavioral health center, such as Springwoods or Vantage Point, kind of in our community. The culture and the community of our school has really been extremely impactful to my dream, to the dreams of other students, especially one of our counselors, Miss Ashley Davidson. It is her first year, but she's always willing to learn with the students. She doesn't have all the answers, and she knows she doesn't. Like a lot of our teachers, they're very willing to learn with the students. I feel like that is such an integral part of our community and what Eagles as a whole really represent. So thank you for letting me talk. I think I'm finished.
I just want to add that Maya was the student rep who put together the polar plunge for the university. I don't remember how much the total, but she did a great job with that too.
Yeah, that's really good. All right, next we have with our staff recognitions, Huntsville Middle School.
So at Huntsville Middle School, we would like to honor Miss Mary Stout with us, and I'm going to read a few of the things that some of the teachers said as they were nominating her. So one teacher said, "I'm very proud to nominate Mary Stout for Teacher of the Month. Mary consistently goes above and beyond in every aspect of her role as a math and special education teacher. Her classroom is a model of excellence, immaculately organized, welcoming, and designed to foster student success. Mary is the type of colleague who makes everyone around her better." Agreed. "She is always willing to drop what she's doing to assist others, especially when it comes to supporting students with IEPs. Her expertise, patience, and willingness to collaborate make her an invaluable resource to both staff and students. Beyond her professional dedication, Mary embodies kindness and generosity. She genuinely cares about her peers, even taking time to hand knit a beautiful quilt for one of her colleagues. A small example of the thoughtfulness she shows daily. Mary Stout represents the very best of our teaching community through her professionalism, compassion, and unwavering commitment to help others succeed." Another nominee said that she would like to nominate Mary. She's always willing to help her fellow teacher. Stout also knows the kids so well. They love her and respond positively to her correction. Recently, she helped this teacher navigate a student who had some major behavior issues. She said she comes to my class when she's not scheduled to, anytime she has an opportunity to help me with a particular student. I would like to add also that Mary has jumped wholeheartedly into her role at HMS, serving as both a math teacher and a special education teacher with excellence at heart. She builds strong relationships with her students. They truly know that she cares, and they respond positively to her guidance and support. She's an incredible teammate. She's always willing to step in and help. Whether it's offer insight, collaborating with colleagues, or even coming by a classroom, she consistently goes above and beyond. Her positive attitude, professionalism, and genuine care for others makes a difference on our campus every single day. So thank you, Miss Mary Stout, for all that you do.
Up next is Watson Primary.
So ironically, none of us talked about our staff members or the people that we were gonna nominate, but there's a theme of special education happening. Our employee of the month is a special education para. Brittany Henderson joined us, joined us mid-year last year as a special education para serving in our resource department. And she just jumped right in, didn't need no training, no support. She just hit the ground running. She works tirelessly all day with those students, pushing into classrooms and pulling out for groups. She supports her special education teacher and it is truly her right hand. But then she also is always looking for how can I help the others on my team. And she has fallen in love with education so much that she is currently in process of becoming a teacher herself. I didn't ask if you were gonna go into special education.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's dual, so we're just so excited to have Brittany on our campus and these amazing special education educators and future educators because they make our world go round. So.
Thank you.
Up next is our St. Paul campus.
Hey, before I talk about Nathan, as I'm sure all the other principals can tell you, these are hard to pick because you got so many deserving people. Ours is a certified staff member for this month. And those that's in presence here with me tonight and those that's not, every one of them is deserving of this. So this is hard, but very well deserving. So I want to say this about Nathan. Nathan has grown so much professionally, and it's been incredible to watch his development as an educator and leader. He has natural ability to connect with kids, building relationships that make them feel seen, valued, and inspired. He truly loves being here, and that passion shows in the energy and dedication he brings to our school each day. Nathan saw the need of our kids and intentionally applied them to his music program, creating opportunities that not only build musical skill, but also confidence, creativity, and a sense of belonging in every student. And I want to say this, we do academic rallies every quarter, and he has 4 or 5 bands now going, and those kids perform at our academic rallies. And so seeing those kids come out of their shell, get in front of their peers, get on stage and sing and play instruments is, it's fascinating and it's phenomenal. Nathan Alexander.
And now it's Huntsville Intermediate.
Alright, we are celebrating Jordina Henderson. Come on, Jordina. And I agree with what Bruce said. It is really hard to pick amongst certified and classified. They all do such a wonderful job and everyone plays a critical role in our schools. So tonight we're celebrating our wonderful Jordina. We're so blessed to have Jordina as part of our HIS family. Jordina is an amazing person. She is so patient even in the most stressful situations. She handles every situation that arises in the office with such grace and professionalism. I'm happy to have her as a coworker and a friend. She keeps the school running smoothly with her knowledge. She has an amazing smile and personality to greet all the students that come through the door of HIS. She is the perfect example of what the front of the school should look like. She's approachable, caring, and always ready to help, making everyone feel supported. Her artistic talent adds a special touch to our school, and even on the busiest days, she handles everything with grace. We are lucky to have her. Jordina is a kind-hearted and genuine professional who consistently goes above and beyond. She builds meaningful relationships with everyone she works with and brings warmth, reliability, and dedication to the workplace every single day. Jordina creates beauty in everything she does. From the beautiful hallway decorations and banners she makes to the positive ways she deals with parents and employees and to the heartfelt things she does when people need their day brightened. She has a huge heart, which is fitting since it is has the word art in it. I call Jordina Speedy Gonzalez. I ask her to do something and I turn around and it's done. She always works with a smile and never acts like I am burdening her when I ask for help, even when she has so much going on. She is a multitasking queen. Also, let's talk about her artistic talent. Whenever I see something adorable in the office or the hall, I just know Jordina did it. Jordina has always been beautiful inside and out. She is also very creative. She makes our school an inviting and happy place, and we are truly blessed to have her.
Hold on, are we doing pictures? Are we do that? Where do you think? Like, right,
Just right up here, maybe in front of the.
can we get the pictures real quick,
Yeah.
please?
Let's do it. Or you want to do it? Sure.
Where are we,
She might know.
So up next, we have the consent agenda. Does anyone have any questions?
What, sorry, no.
Up next is the consent items. Does anyone have any questions about any of those?
No, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second by Nick, all in favor?
Okay, now for the superintendent report. So just a few items I wanted to highlight or talk to the board about. So, I let y'all know that it's kind of an honor for me to be asked to serve on a legislative board with AAEA. And so, I went last week and, I don't know if the outcome of it is, you show up and then they ask you if you'll do something else kind of thing. And so, but it's a good thing. So I got asked to be on the Department of Higher Ed steering committee about concurrent credit. Right now, it's very hard to find teachers at local places that have, one, a master's degree and the qualifications to be able to teach those so our kids can receive concurrent credit. Well, it was a blessing being asked to be on this committee. We had our first meeting yesterday by Zoom. And so we are working with the Department of Higher Ed, which means all the college, secondary institutions, to do what we can to help get people, I guess you could say certified, but through the board, the state board, for us to be able to hire local people to be able to teach and kids receive high school credit and college credit at the same time. Because remember I said, one of my dreams is for a kid at either St. Paul High School or Huntsville High School to be able to graduate with an associate's degree when they get their diploma. And so I'm very proud that I'm able to help and chime in a little bit and see what we can get done for that. And so that's going to continue probably for about the next year. We're going to meet bi-monthly and working on that. So that's a good thing for us. Also, we were to meet next week with Dr. Rick Massengale. He's the president of North Arkansas College to start talking about concurrent credit and also CTE offerings. So I just wanted to let y'all know that we've got the ball rolling on that. And Rick's a great guy, and we'll see what we can get done in a pretty good short period of time. And then probably one of the greatest things is, I don't know if you noticed, we had no March transfers out of the district. And y'all, to me, that's big.
That is big.
That's a big sign that we're doing some things the right way. And, it'll be glorious when they start coming back in, but it's going to happen. So I just wanted to point that out to everybody. And then one other thing that, I noticed, I was talking to Harry and about, I was going through some requisitions and I kept noticing a bunch for a Huntsville gas station. And I just thought it was real odd that we had all of these charges to a gas station. Well, I didn't know, but I started speaking with Harry, and we go to a local establishment to purchase unleaded gasoline. And Harry then repeated the story that I guess our unleaded tank at the transportation department hasn't been serviceable or useful in years. And so, I went to Tina and I was like, man, we need to kind of think about this. We could be saving ourselves lots of money if we go ahead and bite the bullet, get that tank pulled out, because there's, EPA regulations and all that, and get one put in and then bid out our own fuel. And I just think it'd be a huge cost savings. So Harry has started working on that to get the bids about taking the old tank out, doing it by, legally, and then having one put in that's serviceable, and then that way we can bid out those unleaded gas
I
costs.
think they pumped that out in 2010,
Did they? Yeah.
and it was about half full of water.
Oh, was it? Yeah. He just.
Best I can, it was along that time frame, because that's when I first went back to driving the school bus for Birchfield.
So, be looking for that, cause I think, I mean, of course, the cost is gonna be big up front. But I think over the years, long after I'm gone from here, we'll be saving some money in the long run. And so, next I asked Matt, cause Whitney had asked about, a land, which I was, I'm sorry, I had to have a clue, y'all. You probably see my face, but, I talked to Matt, and Matt does, so Matt's gonna kind of fill y'all in a little bit about what's going on with that.
Well, I don't have good news, but I have some news. I spoke with Billy Allred, and he's finished with everything he can do. He sent it over to Waco. Waco doesn't like it because it was in, I think you all are aware that it was in like a home, I want to call it a homemakers group or something, but it was in their name before it became the school districts. And so it's hard to get that fixed to where it sounds like it's the school district selling it. And so there's just been issues with that. And Allred told me, the better way to do that would just be to do a quick claim deed. And, but then the buyer isn't able to get title insurance and those types of things. So, Mr. Raybold is running for office, and I'm sure he's busy with that. But after today, I planned on reaching out to him and seeing if he's still interested and if he wants to go that route. I've also contacted Waco. They were looking at some other options, and I'm waiting on them to get back to me on that. So still just
A never-ending
sitting there.
sale.
So,
Never
yeah.
ending, yeah.
Have you ever asked Buckham about that property?
Mm-mm.
If anybody in the county knows, he will be able to answer you some questions.
Yeah. Okay. I don't.
Him or Jim Openchain.
Yeah, I would think that if there was a way to make it happen, I think they would have found that by now. But maybe not. I'll reach out and see.
You can probably reach out to Buck about any time. Now, Jim, he might be hard to catch. I don't know if he's still hauling sand or not every
Yeah.
day, but I haven't seen him in a while.
Have you shared that map with them you showed me that has, Matt
I don't think
shared a
they've
map
seen
with me that
Have you
had,
seen it? Okay.
I mean, we've got things all over the place,
See,
so.
all them old rural schoolhouses I figured was owned by the state for school.
And I've had other people reach out to me interested in purchasing, one of those properties, and I've just told them, like, until we can get this one taken care of, I don't feel like we can move forward with
Yeah, we
any of
need
the others. So
kind of one at a time. I'm gonna be a lot
yes,
simpler, I think.
yeah. So
Thanks, Matt.
yep.
And so then I wanted to publicly thank Bruce and all the St. Paul people for having us. I mean, y'all are awesome, and
Very
really
good dinner.
appreciate it. And
Our favorite
so-
meeting of the year.
He didn't get to eat yet, but
So-
the food was fantastic.
Yeah,
So-
believe it or not, I can't
You
eat
have
on
four to go trays, Jay. You got you 4 to go trays.
four. Sweet. All right. But thank y'all. Y'all are awesome.
Yes,
We really
thank you very
appreciate it.
much.
Yes.
And up next, we have our action items, and A is pre-K fencing. So, and it's been a while. We were walking the grounds, and so I noticed, and it just worried me, because part of the pre-K fencing is next to the street right there. And, I mean, it's not very tall, and so in my mind, I didn't mean to be all, scared about it, but I'm like, man, somebody could just walk right up, reach over and snatch a little and take off. And so we talked to Carrie and Blaine, at that time, and so started formulating our plan. And Blaine came up with bids first, and then I think a time went by that one of the bids has changed, the other two are the same, but basically, wanting the fencing to match the newer fence that's been put up, and at least have it 6 feet tall. Now, is that gonna keep kids from on weekends climbing over it or whatever to go play on the playground or whatever, I don't know. But it will kind of alleviate, my fear of someone being able to, with the fence so low, of coming up there with our kids there, reaching over, or that kind of fear. I just feel like it needs to be taller. And so, with the bids, you have them there on the agenda. Now, the And Bailey's helped out a lot on this also. The one quote that changed was the first one by Modern Fence, and it actually went from 20,276 to 16,599. Am I correct in that, Bailey?
And there should be a second attachment that they have that summarized.
Oh, does it? Okay. And so, you know, we more than welcome a motion for us to move on that. And Carrie did have a little bit of funds, pre-K funds, to help out with that, you know, which I greatly appreciate. But, you know, to me, that's a district expense. It'd be well worth it that we do that, so.
Can I get a motion to approve I got two, all right, all in favor?
So is the board good with the first one?
Yes,
That's the lowest?
6 foot fence.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. B is gonna be policy updates, and Paula's gonna cover that real quick.
Yes, there was a change to the model policy last year, to be able to be a recipient of the sick leave bank, you had to donate a day prior to September 15th. I believe it was of the year. And so they've changed that to take that requirement away, that if you contribute to the bank at any point in the year, then you can be a recipient of it, just to remove kind of that block. There was, we noticed that the licensed, personnel's, sick leave bank policy had been updated, but the classified hadn't. And so we're just wanting to get on record that they're both matching the model policy now. So they were attached as part of your packet, if you had a chance to read over those.
Okay, so I have a question about that. If you can join anytime, what is the advantage of putting in that? And what is this with, I know Springdale has the same thing, you have to put in, you can't put in later. You can put in the next year. And in Springdale's is even a little more stringent, that then you pay those days back over time.
Yeah, I mean, that is why the date was there, originally, but, the model policy had changed and, I don't have a good answer for that, Connie. We're trying to align with the ASBA policy on that.
And the problem was, we had one of them updated on the website and not the other one, so we're just trying to get them to match equally at this point.
I just, then there's no reason to ever join, to have anything in there. And so therefore.
Unless you need it.
Yeah, unless you need it, and therefore there will never be, once people quit, I mean, we'll have enough for, hopefully, nobody ever needs it. But in case you have something or somebody needs it, it was always then that they might have to ask you for another day to stay in. So now we don't even ask people, what do you do when you just say, oh, sorry, those people got it, but now we ran out?
Well, I think still at the beginning of the year, we asked teachers to donate, and I know when I was in the classroom, I donated every year, never planning on using it myself. So I like to think that still the majority of our staff would be willing to go ahead and donate to help out colleagues in need, but I could be wrong. So we could try it and then change it back if it's not working. And
both policies do have a minimum. If it drops below that minimum, then there's a request made at the beginning of the year for every staff member to. So I think the certified is below 200 and the classified is below 50. So if the bank drops below that, then there is a request made for everybody to donate that's in that. If it's classified, all classified members would be asked to donate to the sick bank. So doesn't mean they have to, but there would be a request made.
So did PPC look at this?
I assume last year when you guys brought it forward.
How did they feel about it? Like they felt it was a good thing, or that it was okay not to have to participate ahead of time?
Yeah, I have not. The change for certified was made when we did the ASBA policies and policy updates. You all approved that one, but the classified policy is the one that's different, that we're changing to match the model policies, and I haven't presented that to classified.
Oh, the classified, okay. So the teachers are already on this where you don't have to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's how we first noticed it. They were told, one was, the classified was the old one, and the certified was the new one. And they always match from ASBA policy. You can't treat one
Differently.
group different than the other, and that's how we first noticed it. And then Paula did a lot of research and went back trying to find it. And we couldn't find it in any board notes or anything anywhere. So that's why we're asking, you know, they need to match. We can't treat one differently than the other.
No, we can't. I just think that's, and that's the hard thing. We get all those and there's so much and we don't get them enough ahead of time to go through them. And just, the model isn't always the best. Remember, the model said none of us could ever come on campus unless we were there as a parent, you know? And we didn't go with that one, so they're not always good policies.
Right.
So, but I'll make a motion that we treat them the same.
Can I get a second? Steve, all in favor?
Okay, up next, Bailey's gonna kind of fill in a little bit for us and talk to us about, Blaine did a comparison, on, and I don't wanna steal Bailey's thunder, I'll let him tell you, about hiring, and Matt, I think, was in on those interviews, but I'll be quiet, let them talk.
Yeah, I mean, so we are trying to fill a need where we have not been fully staffed all year on our custodial coverage. And, you know, we've gone through this with the high school, middle school, and, you know, the example I use in this scenario is we have 3 openings right now for custodial. Matt and Blaine interviewed 6 applicants. 2 of them were recommended for hire. 1 backed out before they ever started the paperwork. The other one backed out like 2 days after they started the paperwork. So now that's 2 months that we've lost. And so when we look at the numbers, there is some cost savings there. I mean, it's not tens of thousands, but there is some cost savings there. But the real benefit is the job pool that they have to help get us fully staffed. And so that is what we're proposing tonight, is that we would hire out contracted custodial for intermediate school. And then those 3 night custodians at intermediate school would move to primary school. And the 1 daytime would move to daytime athletics at the activity center and baseball building. And so I've met with the custodians and shared this information with them. And we have a plan for how that transition would look as well after that.
So don't we have another contract crew at another building?
We do. I mean, this is the same company that we use at high school and middle school.
So how's that working out?
Yeah.
I mean, all the feedback I've gotten, please, principals speak up, but that has been a positive experience on there. I mean, another benefit is that they take care of the waxing for us as well. So that's manpower that we have extra to focus on our facilities and in other areas during the summer. I don't know if Mike or Tim, I mean, James Busby is one from Forian that.
It depends on the people you get.
Mm-hmm.
Fortunately, we've had good people. James Busby, who you met last month, excellent, yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, all the feedback I've received from the teachers and the principals at that campus has been positive. I mean, there's always some growing pains that first couple of weeks and, you know, figuring out what custom things we clean or do that, you know, they aren't used to, but,
and I will say this, sorry, Bailey. I will say this, they've been providing subs and they've been charging us per hour, because we've been so shorthanded. I mean, we really had no choice, you know, since the people turned us down that we were trying to hire, and we didn't want to overload everybody else, you know, that already has their work to do. And so, without a contract, they just said, well, we'll provide you subs for now until y'all decide what you want to do, and we'll just charge you by the hour, which they have. And so they've been, that was very good of them to do that, because we were in a bind, so.
And do they have somebody that comes and supervises those people or checks on their work in the evening?
We have an on-site manager with Forian. That was part of the service that they provide for middle school and high schools, that they actually have an on-site manager that basically is the liaison between them and us and does quality control. So if we have any issues, we report it to them and they help address it. I mean, I've been very impressed with seeing them, and I think I was up there yesterday or the day before, well, I guess it wouldn't have been the day before, but last week they were, one of the custodians at middle school was dusting shelves, and like that was on their checklist is, for the weekly part is dusting shelves.
And then quarterly, their regional manager comes from Springdale, and he's met with me twice this year so far to ask if there's any worries or anything that they could do better. So that communication part's been, that's been
Do
good.
the employees go through like background check and all the
Yep,
things?
they
Okay.
have to adhere to the same
Okay.
process we do.
Okay.
And so, just the primary will be,
Primary in St. Paul will, in athletics, nighttime athletics.
will still be
will
our
still be
people.
our people.
And are all the custodians, since we're having a hard time keeping them, they're all good with it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like, I visited with the 4 custodians at intermediate school, because it doesn't make sense for us to bring 4 from primary school over to intermediate school, and we have 7 or 8, for the intermediate school. Like, the square footage just doesn't justify that. And so, I mean, obviously, they're attached to that building, and intermediate, attached to them, but they do agree having fully staffed campuses and campuses that can come in and are clean, that's what's best for the kids. So I won't say that they're not, they're gonna miss the intermediate school, and as the intermediate's gonna miss them, but they are willing to step up and help us in this area that we need.
Well, I'll be transparent. They let me know. They called me, all 3 at the same time.
Good, better you calling you than us.
And so, after explaining it to them, and then Bailey followed up with them, and Bailey told me, hey, Jay, when I left, they said, thank you. And remember, that's my goal. If, we have those critical conversations with people, even though they might be upset, if they can thank us when we finish, then we know we probably did something very good, and Bailey sure did with them.
Yeah, and I went through that timeline with them, and it's not, if we approve it tonight, they're going to a different campus tomorrow. Like, assuming this is approved, I would call for him tomorrow. We'd figure out, okay, we're gonna make that transition on this date. Without talking to 4M, I'm assuming kind of spring break is probably that transition point we're looking at, which is nice because it allowed 4M to come in and get settled that week. And but that I reassured the custodians that's going from intermediate that we're taking this hand in hand together. It's not going to be, hey, go to this campus tomorrow, good luck. Like, we're going to walk over there next week or something and look at what they have over there, make sure they're comfortable with the materials and supplies that they have. And so we're going to be walking through it with them, make sure they're as comfortable as possible with it.
And I will be transparent and tell you, this is all foreign to me. To me, I would rather have our folks and us take care of them and not have a high turnover rate, which I haven't had before wherever I've been. And I think it's all a cultural kind of thing where you make them feel valued. And right now, where we're at, we just don't have those applicants. And until we change our culture and word gets out that, man, school's a great place to work at, we'll get there, but that's my big worry, and I'm always upfront about it, is having an outside entity come in. I'm just gonna be honest, that gives them leverage, because what if they come back here in a year or two and go, well, we're jacking up our prices? What are we gonna do? I can't go out and hire 30 people.
Why did the ones we had that's been here so long quit?
Sir?
Why have the ones that was been here so long quit?
I don't know.
I would not be able to answer that. I've not visited with them directly, but I will say a lot of them have just left to pursue other career ventures that they can make more money.
Well, some of them have been here a while that's quit.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make a lot of sense to me, but.
Well, I think part of it is just things we have to change, because like one thing for a while, the salary schedule was, they'd put money on the bottom and it wasn't, but the steps stayed the same. So every time you put it was working out that those people were only getting like, I don't know what, I'll just make up a number, like you're getting $200. So now you got this new employee starting where this gap should be really big. That gap got really close. You got somebody who's working here for 20 some years, and this person's making almost as much as you, not a very big gap there. And some of them got kind of tired. That's Johnny. Yeah. We had some that have, worked a long time and that's what they were seeing.
Yeah.
And so, but we're working, you know, that's the whole thing. We're trying to fix salary schedule and fix everything, you
Yeah.
know?
And I mean, I feel blessed having y'all, cause we have started fixing that, you know, but it takes some time, you know, and to get it, you know, I hate to mention the former place, get it up to where we were, because you do want to let them know that if they look around and compare salaries, we're up at the top, and you know, it's just gonna take some time to get there, but Connie, it's, that's kind of, at other places I've been also, you find that, or if they really wanted an individual in a position, they would manipulate whatever the salary was gonna be, cause they gotta have that person, and you can't do that. You know, but we'll get all those things fixed, I mean, cause we have where I've been before, so it's just gonna take time, so. Because I really truly believe we need them all to be our folks, you know. Nothing against 4M or the job
No,
that they've done,
yeah.
but.
But it, yeah, have them from our community and they, all the time I worked at school, those custodians were a super vital part of it. Just like everybody else, all the aides and all the cafeteria, everybody. I mean, takes a whole village to educate a kid.
And y'all know this personally, that was my dad, you know, that's pretty much saved our family, the public school, when he got on and, you know, got out of the logwoods and had to stop hauling pulpwood. It saved us, and so, you know, you personally, I know y'all do too, you have a heart for folks, and hopefully one of these days we will get it where they're ours, you know. Again, nothing against 4M, they're helping us out right now, which we're grateful for, so.
I will say, like, 4M is recruiting locally. I mean, many of the 4M people are either former employees of ours or that are living in our community as well.
If we did a contract for him, how long is the contract?
I think, I mean, I know from, it goes annual, so I would assume, Bobby, because I haven't seen this one yet, it would be an annual, you know, thing. So they'd probably prorate it with the rest of this year, fiscal year, and then it would start an annual one.
Well, then, if we did do 4M, then it looks like it'd give us a while to maybe try and get back to where we did wanna use our locals. No?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's why I like the annual. I mean, you do the 1 year thing, that gives.
Yeah, I wouldn't be wanting to agree to no 4 to 6 year contract or nothing like that, when I know there's plenty of locals that would like to have the opportunity.
If it gets to where your prices are going up, you just put it back out for bid again. I mean, that's where the annual contract comes in, because if next year they try to charge you double what they charged you this year, you say, well, we're gonna put it back out for bid, and I mean, there is.
Competition.
I get 5 phone calls a day about this very thing. So there's plenty of them out there.
Good, okay, no, that's good to know, I'll remember that, so.
Alright, can I get a motion to accept option 2? Right, that's what we're wanting the motion to be,
Yeah, I don't think that it would, yes, sorry, option 2.
yeah, okay,
I'll make those.
okay,
I'll second the motion.
all in favor?
And really, option 2 is just, we're hiring out 4M.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, did we pass that?
Yes,
Sorry, I
sir.
wasn't paying attention.
Yes, sir.
All right, next we're on information items, and up first will be Bruce with his academic report.
Thank you. Hey, before I get started, I don't think most of you know him. Jason, would you stand up? This is Officer Jason Pierce, who is our SRO at the St. Paul campus. He's doing a fantastic job. We're so glad he's here. Thank you guys for getting us another SRO. I know our staff and our kids are getting to know Jason really well, and like I say, just having that presence on campus is great, and we thank Jason for that. Thank you, Jason.
Living right across from the school, it's good to see.
Yes, sir.
Him out here daily.
Absolutely. Thank you. And also, I want to thank everybody that helped with preparing tonight, and I'll leave everybody out, but I know Kendra and Maddie and Riley and everybody that's helped, put together tonight's meal. They're over there cleaning up now, and, big thanks for them. And I can tell you, you got to give credit where credit is due. I'm not a data person. I don't put together data. That's Kim. That's Kendra, so this presentation is not Bruce Dunlap's presentation. I'm gonna present it, but that, you rely on the talents of the people you got, right? And, that's them. And I'm gonna tell you what Kendra and I sat down and she did in about an hour, would have took me a month. I'll just be honest with you, okay? So, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. I do have some links. I'm gonna have Bailey email this to you guys, so you can go through and look at some of the links and go through and look at them, because I know we still have a lot more on the agenda. One of the things I think, if you want to know what we're doing and how we're celebrating, I think we need to go back and look at what was our school improvement plan for the year? Where was our needs and what did we need? Bailey can click on that, and I'll give him access to share with you guys, but y'all can go through and look at that. But basically it was, we know we got to improve our literacy scores, we got to improve our math scores, and how do we do that? And of course, in the elementary and the high school both, I've got it for both of them. How do we continue to strengthen our culture and keep our culture where it's at? Bailey, go to the next slide, please. So at the elementary, we want to celebrate and give you some highlights. So what have we done? So at the K2, the majority of our kindergarten kids are now on their letters and sound identification. 50% of them scored level 3 or 4. Level 3 or 4 is obviously where we're trying to get to. In the first grade, 43% scored level 3 or 4, and in the second grade, 44% scored level 3 or 4. So we're also trying to meet our goals under individual or IRPs or individual reading plans of each student. Grades 3, 5, ELA went up 200. These are beginning of the year and middle of the year. ELA, we went up 223 points. Math, we grew 145 points, and in science, we grew 87 points. So the growth is there, okay? Are we where we need to be? No, but we're making the gains to where we need to be. Next slide, Bailey. So I wanted to throw this in there, and there's a hyperlink there with the LEARNS Act. The LEARNS Act, as it pertains to third grade promotion, is 33 slides long. I narrowed it down to about 11 slides for you to hit the highlights about good cause exemption. What are you supposed to be doing for those kids that are in danger of being retained? So I added that so you guys can go back and look at that. Because I don't know if you've got to, any of you have really seen what the LEARNS Act says with third grade promotion and district leadership, what you're supposed to be doing. But so what are we doing? So our focus with Kendra, when Kendra and I sat down this year, with the third grade promotion law, was we knew that's where our focus had to be. We have a first year teacher in there who's now on maternity leave. But we have a merit pay teacher in there right now who has done a phenomenal job of coming in, Miss Flo Trahan. And so our kids have grown tremendously throughout the year. Angela's done a fantastic job starting off the year. She went to maternity leave and Flo came in and continued the work of Angela. That's as bad as I hate to say it, Kendra, that's where her focus is right now in elementary as our instructional facilitator, is making sure we got those parent contacts going on. We've got our IRPs in place. We're doing all the interventions so that if we do have any kids that are still scoring a 1, because you have to have a 2 or above in ELA, that they'll be retained. And so we want to make sure that we got those good cause exemptions in there. So in our IRPs, students who are potential at risk, from the beginning of year screener, we've been reaching out to the parents. Some of those are hard conversations. Nobody wants to hear that their son or daughter is in danger of being retained. And again, we've explained to them that we're doing everything we can. Those conversations are getting a little bit easier, especially when you're showing the growth of the students throughout the year. What are we doing interventions wise? They receive in-class interventions. Then we also have Miss Terry Simmons that does our dyslexia interventions. She meets with all kids, but especially those kids that are in danger. And then also we have Miss Jennifer Dotson now, who's our elementary sped, who is also working in those interventions. And then with our parent guardian, we've continued those updates. Kendra and I talked again today about parent teacher conferences coming up in a couple of weeks she and I are going to have those conversations with parents about where we're at. Because Flo, is an interim teacher right now, and we just felt like that need to be coming from us with the parents. So we'll have those conversations at parent teacher conference, go through the scores and show each parent where we're at. Go ahead, baby. So the next one's our high school improvement plan, which is basically a lot like the elementary improvement plan with the, we kind of hit on the culture a little bit more in the high school. We talk about using IXL in the classrooms during RTI time for kids to try to improve their scores. Go ahead, Bailey. So what did it look like from beginning of the year to the middle of the year? 31% of our students scored a 3 or 4 in ELA. We doubled our students scoring in a 3 or 4 in math. This is grade 6-10. 35% of our students scored at a level 3 or 4 in science. And we grew 163 points in 6th grade science. Thank you, Ms. Shaw. 163 points. That's from beginning of the year to middle of the year. So again, the growth is there. Are we where we need to be? No. But as long as we're working, you know, we got to continue to show that growth. Go ahead, baby. So I'll shift that now to, you guys know that we are a Renaissance school, okay? Matt got to go with us last year, and he can tell you that's where we get the bang for our buck. Yeah, I thought it was interesting to note the price comparison from Renaissance to model schools. I got an email the other day that said if it's time to register for model schools, it's double the registration price of Renaissance. I didn't know that. I'd never been to model schools. I think probably some of you have. Connie, you may have been to model schools. I've never been, but the staff of mine that's been to model schools and been to Renaissance tell me there's no comparison of the two when you talk about bringing back what needs to be done at your school, how do you improve your school, and that. And of course, one of the Renaissance motto is school culture eats test scores for breakfast. Yes, test scores are important, but what they're trying to say is when you get the culture right, test scores start taking care of themselves. That's what that whole phrase means. And so we continually try to figure out a way, how are we going to continue doing what we're doing? Go ahead, Bailey. So here's some pictures from last year. You get a great one of Matt Ferguson with his athletic skills over there on the right. The gentleman that's in the...
Oh, I thought that was Matt in the yellow.
I can't never remember their names, but they're the leaders of Renaissance. So we met up at the sign with them. We do a jump picture with them. But one thing you'll notice in these pictures, you're never going to see anybody not smiling. You're not going to go to a breakout session of anybody not smiling. You're not going to come back and meet with your team of teachers and not feel excitement in the air. Matt can tell you we met as a staff after breakout sessions. Boy, the vibe, you know, the vibe, hey, this is what we got to do when we get back to school. We got to implement this. We got to do this. You know, we got to do these things. And so I just wanted to throw that in there. The top picture you see, you'll see the sign that we're all pointing at. That was the silver level school. St. Paul was a silver level school last year. The next level is gold, and then what you don't see is the next one is platinum. We've applied for platinum membership this year. The gentleman that came and led our back to school professional development, PC, Dr. Phil Campbell, okay, he is on the committee that selects these, and his quote to us was, "Your application is outstanding." And we haven't been given approval yet. I'll be shocked if we don't get platinum level. What does that mean? Go ahead, Bailey. So if we receive platinum level at the gala this year, there's an awards gala, we'll get to walk St. Paul School. We'll walk across the stage, be recognized with a platinum level accreditation, I guess you'd say, as a school. Anybody got any questions?
What kind of things are they talking about to get the awards?
Sure, absolutely. So their mantra is, make the positive so loud the negative is hard to hear. We got negatives in every school, but you want to celebrate the small things. You want to recognize the small things. You want to reward, reinforce, and this equal, you know, build relationships with equal results. Those are the R's of Renaissance. So Connie, they have breakout sessions. It's a 3-day conference. They have breakout sessions, and we'll get our folder the day before we get there. And you, as a team, we go through, I'm going to this one, you go to that one, and you bring back those ideas. So what is it? What does it look like? So every school and kids are there presenting from schools as well, which I thought was really the cool thing. So they'll tell you what they're doing at their school. And so you're just taking ideas, you know, and what does that look like? I'll be honest with you, when I go into a session and I see kids sitting in those sessions, I'll just go over and sit down by them. And my question will be one of them. I'll introduce who I am, what I do, and I'll say, and I'll look at their badge. One of them was a platinum school kid last year. And I said, do you have a teacher at your school that nobody wants to take their class? And they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, how come? Tell me why. And they're like, well, they don't believe in building relationships. That was, you know, as a first thing. And they're a platinum level school, and it's all about relationships. So I take things like that to my mind. And, you know, hopefully if somebody asked one of our kids that, what would their answer be, you know? And so Connie, to answer your question, we go to these breakout sessions to see how you recognize and reward the things that you can do. Like you see everything that we post in our social media. Miss Tiffany Smith with her Joy Club, She brought that back from Renaissance, to celebrate the positivity. We make sure that we get every kid who's got a birthday, we plaster it everywhere. Just things like that.
So then on your application, you put the things, this is what we did to meet.
So they have a monthly challenge, and Kim can speak to that way better than I do, but I do know our application was 75 pages long.
It was very long. If you're interested in it, I do have a copy of it.
Absolutely.
I will be more than happy to email you if you'd like to see some of the things we're doing. The monthly challenges actually aren't part of the application itself, but we do those, and that gives us a chance to win up to $500 each month. We have one of the monthly challenges last May for
This is nationwide.
the graduation.
Sweet.
And we use that $500 to help fund or to help start our Saint store.
Yep.
So for our PBIS type things.
Yep. And Krista, you know, she came back with a lot of passion with the Saint store. She picked that up at one of her breakouts, and, you know, how do we get that going, and how do we keep it going? And so, you know, the biggest thing, Connie, for us now that this is year 5 for us, is there's a school in Little Rock, Southwest Little Rock. They bring 25 to 30 kids every year. I don't know how they do it, but 25 to 30 kids, and then other schools bring kids. And so our next step is turning that ownership over to the kids. Let them see what's going on and bring that back, so they're not hearing it from us, they're hearing it from their peers. I hope that, so we're trying to raise money for 4 kids this year. Matt is actually coming in to set it through on interviews with 4 of our kids tomorrow. It's kind of an interview process. Krista's taken us over and done a fantastic job. And so with our side-by-side run we got coming up, all those proceeds, that's where the money's going. It's going to cost about $8,000, $2,000 per kid to get them there. And I'm super excited. Matt can tell you, I think I've told you guys, we sat and talked to 2 kids from another school last year. They were phenomenal. They just sat down and talked to us like adults. We ran into them 2 more times at the conference. You know, there's over 2,500 people to them. We just happened to be sitting next to them and get to talking, and they actually Zoomed in with me this year at our professional development to tell our teachers about their school, what they like, what they don't like, what they would like to see better. And those 2 kids still reach out and email me, and I still reach it. So it's connections. It's making those connections.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And just to let you know, we have 11 of us that's going this year. So, you know, that's our push. I've got to get the application completed from Natasha, the out-of-state travel, which is, you know, something this year that we got to get done. And, you know, that's just where we feel like our bang for our buck is in professional development as a staff. Any other questions?
I just think it's been fantastic, and I've
Thank
been
you.
really, I've wanted to come for your first day for several years
Come.
now. And I told them I'm not coming back next year, so I plan on being on your.
Well, I'll tell you, if you're planning on being here, we're gonna make it bigger and better just for you.
No,
We're gonna
I
make it
just
bigger and better.
put me to work doing something.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You know, we're always thinking of, how do we celebrate those seniors that first day? That, for me, that's because it's their last first day, you know? And then throughout the year, how do we continue to celebrate those seniors and then everybody else, you know, with it? But we got a lot of great things going on. We still got improvement. We know everybody's got improvement, but we feel like we're doing the right things.
Well, and I think your scores have showed too, you're heading in the right
You know,
direction.
we hope so. Yeah.
And I don't mind saying it, you can feel it when you walk in the door. I mean, you do, you just know.
Yeah.
So,
And again, it's because of these guys back here and everybody here and the kids and the community and the parents. It's not anything I'm doing, it's everything that we're doing. You know, I tell them, I don't have the answer, but we'll find the answer. And I truly believe that. Anybody else?
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
It's awesome.
Good job, Bruce.
next, Paula's gonna talk about the Madison County local lead.
Can I ask one question? This has been going on and we hear these wonderful things each year. Why hasn't the northern campuses decided to do any of this?
I mean, I can't answer that, I've only been
That's
there
what
6
I'm
months.
looking. I'm looking over there, you're new, you don't know.
Connie, can I kind of speak of it?
Yeah,
Okay, so Renaissance is really more geared towards your middle school and high school campuses. Now, they do have an elementary piece to it. So not to take anything away from them, but I also feel like you gotta lead from where you're at, you know, and every campus is different. It's not a one size fits all. What we do down here may not work at the other campuses. And so as the campus leaders, they have to look at where do they get the most bang for their buck? You know, with 3rd grade promotion at the, you know, the primary level or the intermediate level, what are we doing for that, you know? And so to say that and not to step on anybody else's toes, I just don't, you just gotta lead from where you're at and know what your priorities are and what your needs are. I hope that makes sense. I hope that
And
didn't
we
mean
did
to.
go, the intermediate went 1 year, what was that, 2
2 years ago.
years ago at least?
When it was in Dallas.
Yeah, Texas.
They did not have, like their breakout sessions, they had very few for elementary.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did take some things like celebrating the birthdays and little bits and pieces that we could from it. And we did come back like pumped up and stuff.
Mhm.
It's just hard to get to that level, like he's talking about bringing students back and stuff because the difference of high school and elementary. So, Jennifer and I actually went with Miss Harris to a school in Lowland, looked like at the Ron Clark Academy and some things, and it was geared more elementary levels, so.
Jostens is trying every year. They do bring more elementary. They're trying to get it to where it is going down as far as the primary grades. But
Yeah.
I've been 4 times, and it's like every year there's maybe one more breakout session that's geared for those lower.
Well, for the middle school people, have you thought about this in high school?
It sounds really, I mean, it sounds wonderful. I think sometime in the future, the middle school, we would definitely be interested in that. We're really focusing heavy at Huntsville Middle School on the PLC things right now, and so I want to be careful not to give too many different directions to staff, you know, as fill their plates with too many things, but definitely sometime in the future, like I would love to learn more about it and attend.
You know, and Tammy and I have talked about collaborating a little bit with our kids about getting some assemblies together and, you know, where you celebrate the positivity and not necessarily Renaissance. We've just had some different things that I'd love to bring our kids, because it's easier to transport my kids up there in middle school and have something in the activity center where our kids are together. So she and I have talked about that.
Awesome.
Mr. Nichols, have you guys
You know, the Eagles that I shared with you, those 6 words, that's kind of the foundation of what we've been starting this year. And so we're developing these things. We have a lot of different things going also with PLC, so we just have to grow these things where and when we can. We're moving in that direction, not necessarily a Renaissance program. I don't know if we could ever fully implement like what Bruce is doing, but we certainly want to build a strong program.
You know, Connie, one of the things you'll realize when you go to a conference like this, like our first one, we sit there and go, oh, we're doing those things. We're doing those things, but you don't know you're doing those things. And, you know, so like when we had our PD day up at the high school, Mike's doing a lot of those things already in the high school. As a matter of fact, I took lots of pictures of things he's got going on that I wanted to bring back down here to our campus. So and I told him, I said, Mike, you're doing a lot of Renaissance things already. You don't have to be a Renaissance school because you're already doing the Renaissance things. And they are, you know, just walking through his campus and seeing the things he's got up and got going it was impressive.
Okay, I was just thinking PLC, it's been going on a long time at the high school. And I don't know, maybe it's different now, but it's really hard PLCs.
I would say no, it hasn't been.
Well, it was. I mean, it was there. But it's hard to make it work when, like, I can see, like, I've been to a PLC at Jennifer's and at her school, and oh my gosh, it's like, it's like totally amazing. At high school, when you don't have people that teach enough in common, it's so hard and seems like you don't get as much, when you're talking about bang for your buck, it's like you just don't have enough to do because you don't have that commonality where you can share as much. I mean, you can share X amount, but when you're teaching, you know, 9th grade science, and then this person in the PLC is only teaching chemistry, and this person's only teaching biology, you can get that commonality, but you can't really, there's not really enough to share. And so that's why I'm just thinking maybe another direction. So anyway, just some throw out there.
Oh, one more thing I want to say, that was Krista that just texted, hey, you got to mention this. So the gentleman that came and spoke to Back to School PC, has been in touch with us, mainly Krista. And we're going to have a leadership conference in this region next year, hosted by PC. He's coming down, and we're trying to get 10 campuses involved, and it's all about developing student leadership. And so we're trying to get the Harrison facility, not the activity, I don't know what they call it, but it's not a gym, it's a true meeting place.
Auditorium.
What is it?
It's an
An auditorium, thank you. PC requested we didn't use an activity type deal and we use an auditorium type, because there's gonna be a lot of learning taking place, so. We're working on that, we're actually gonna go talk to, the superintendents where they meet up in the Harrison, co-op and talk to them about it and let them know what it's about, and so these are our next steps of where we're going.
And I'll say, you know, Bruce mentioned I'm coming down tomorrow to help with those interviews, and I've just been reading the kids' applications before I came down here, and it's awesome to see that the kids value it as much as the staff value it here. The kids value it too. So, yeah.
And I have to say one more thing. I've got to brag on Krista because I know she would never do it herself.
Yeah.
She has actually been invited. The one that came up to and spoke with us at the beginning of the year has a segment called PC and Friends, and she has actually been invited to be up on stage as one of the friends to represent our area in what we're doing.
So she'll be on stage in front of everybody that's at this conference, answering questions with a group of other people.
As a panel.
Folks, if that, you don't think that's amazing, that's amazing to be invited. Now, she's nervous and scared as all get up. And so we're gonna put her through some mock stuff, and so is PC to get her prepared, but that's amazing. That's just flat out amazing, to be asked, first of all, yeah.
And that have grown up here and having, you know, just rooted in this community, and for it to be represented nationwide is amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yep, we appreciate you, Sample.
Thank y'all.
Okay, Paula?
Oh, it's hard to follow that, but thanks.
Yeah.
Should have put you at the end. Anyway, this is something I'm very excited about. You've heard a lot about the LEARNS Act, and that's because there's a lot in there. That was a 145-page bill that was passed, so it encompasses a whole lot of things, and one of the things the LEARNS Act stipulated was for the state to appoint and partner with local organizations to be a point of contact to take the lead on early childhood education in that area. So we have volunteered to take that over for Madison County. And the reason that's a good thing is because whoever the lead is, and we'll have a person who will be our captain when the time comes, will work with all childcare providers who offer services for birth to pre-K, and they will make sure that everyone has access to all the resources that are out there. They'll help parents find providers. They'll look for gaps in services. They'll build local partnerships and things. We went to the Dolly Parton Imagination Library today. That was done by the current local lead, helped get that going in Madison County, but lots of other resources too. I did this role in the interim, as an interim lead for the last district I was in, and I had no idea how many resources there are out there for parents, because there isn't someone to help connect them to all of them. But this also helps private daycares, anyone from just a small in-home daycare to a large, more institutional kind of pre-K, have access to all the same trainings and all the same resources for their students, with the goal of kindergarten readiness. And so that's why we wanted to be the lead, is because eventually all these students are going to be coming to Huntsville schools. So we wanted to help oversee that kindergarten readiness. Another part that LEARNS stipulated was that there would be a consistent evaluation system across all of these providers. I actually was trained in a part of it and went and evaluated some classrooms in Faulkner County last year. But this would guarantee that all of the providers and their teachers have the same training in student and teacher interactions or child and teacher interactions, which is pivotal for brain development in little ones. And so it's very exciting. It's funded by a grant, and then you apply, and then they choose the local lead for the area, and then we'll receive money to help pay for the salary of the person who does it and for some of the materials and the services that they do. Then they will look after not only our pre-K, but all the providers in Madison County. So we wanted to let you guys know that we've offered to do that. We've offered for Huntsville School District to do that for Madison County, and we'll see if we are selected or not. The person who's doing it right now does a great job, but there are over 8 different counties, and they're not, this is not their home. And so we wanted to bring it home and just focus on Madison County ourselves. And so if you want to know any more about it, I can send you all kinds of information about it. It's very exciting, and I enjoyed being a part of it. Even as a secondary person, I was evaluating infant classrooms in Faulkner County and having the time of my life. So I would love to tell you more about it if you're interested.
And I don't mind telling y'all, I mean, we're competitive. And so the current lead, it's my understanding, applied for it, put in for it, and so did the Northwest Co-op out of Farmington, our co-op.
Is it Marcia? I think Marcia is the one that.
So there's 3 of us that I know of. So anyway, we'll keep y'all updated if we get the honor to be able to do that. So.
Yeah, and I think the co-op pulled out.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, yeah. I think the
Just
co-op
out of
pulled
Madison
out.
County?
No, out of all of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I read that email
Well,
correctly.
it helps our odds.
Yeah.
Next, then, Paul again is going to talk about, we talked about setting a timeline for, to make a decision about the 4-day or 5-day weeks. And so her and Matt did a lot of work and kind of formulated a timeline or a plan for that. So.
Yes, thank you. So we talked last time about maybe we needed some action steps, remember, for how we were gonna get input from the community. And so Matt worked on a really great survey. And so then we set down kind of all the things that would need to happen. And we would want everyone to also base kind of their decision on data. And so that's why this doesn't start until summer, was because that's when the test scores come back and things, so we can include that data. So this summer, we would look at gathering all the data points. And so I've listed out several there, about 8 different data points, and we'll sit down and see if there's any more we can come up with as well. And then we would present that data to you guys, and it would be live streamed so other people could hear it. But then we would send the survey out. Our goal is to send the survey on a little postcard, and I have a mock-up of it I can show you, to all homes in the HSD catchment area, so that every home would have an opportunity to provide some input on the 4-day, 5-day week. But then, just to ensure that they're hearing the message, we would set up 3 community meetings. One in the north part of the county at Clifty, then one at Huntsville, and then one down here at St. Paul, where we present the data to the community and then offer them an opportunity to have some Q&A with us and to offer some feedback, and then also to be turning those surveys back in. We also feel that we need to hear from our bosses, which would be the governor and the commissioner of education. And so we would ask for their input as well, and then hopefully have all of that finished and the data all gathered from the surveys to do a final presentation to you all in October. And then you could make a decision for the next school year for 27-28 on whether or not to continue the 4-day week. Now, we're open to feedback or adjustments on this timeline. We just wanted to start kind of a series of steps to making sure that all the voices are heard on this decision. And then you're armed with all of the information you could possibly need in order to make the decision that's best for students.
Yeah, just make sure everybody gets their say.
Now,
So 3 community meetings and then a survey to every home.
and on the survey, like you said, the postcards, what exactly is it going to be? Like, it'll be a website where they could put in
It would be
input, or-
actual postcard where they will check boxes, and then it will also have a QR code to a link where they can go online and look at more information and find out where the community meetings are.
Okay, so how does this postcard get back to us?
They'll have to return it either at the community meeting or mail or dropping it by the office. It's all on there, so I can send you a mock-up
Okay.
of what it's looking like, or have it for you at the next meeting if you want.
about that. I'm just wondering if that, there won't be any online something that they can,
We felt this way was the most fair because not everyone maybe has online access for one thing, and another thing, it's hard to gauge. You could vote online as many times as you wanted for as many email addresses as you wanted to make up. So
well, yeah,
this
you have
would
to
be.
you have to make up an email address. That's- Yeah. Okay.
I believe by waiting until the end of the school year and all that, it really sounds good to me. Just
Okay, thank you.
everything you presented.
Yeah, I think the important message that gets confused sometimes is this is not for the upcoming school year, right? It's for 27, 28, so.
That's the main thing we need to press.
Do we know when we'll have next year's calendar ready?
PPC is working on all of that right now. They've been sending out some information, getting feedback from teachers and working through that.
I think they're pretty much
Cut you off
down,
there.
that's okay, to parent-teacher conference nights and offerings. I saw the email today, I don't know if y'all did.
Yeah.
That's a very nice timeline, I think. That's, and also by
We was
waiting
pressed
till,
a little tight the last night.
yeah, yeah. And by starting in summer, that helps separate that this is not till the
Right.
next year,
Right.
Yeah.
not happening until October.
And then if a decision's made in October, people will have plenty of
Time to get ready.
time to, prepare whichever way it goes.
So next calendar is 4 years, 4 days, right?
Yes.
Just want to clarify that for everybody.
That's good.
Yeah.
Any other questions about that? So, all right, Mr. Nichols is gonna give an update on the yearbook.
All right, this is the never-ending topic of high school yearbooks. We're gonna get it straightened out.
Leave it on the board.
When I got here last year, I was told the 23-24 yearbook was not complete. And I was shocked by that and started kind of digging into that and trying to figure some things out. And then a little while later, I heard that phone call or something found out the 22-23 yearbook wasn't done yet. So this has been snowballing one right after the other, and we have taken steps to correct that. One thing we did is we hired Jostens, because I worked for years with Jostens and Randy Joe Hamilton at a different district, had great success with them. And that's going great. Last year, we were able to keep I was able to keep up with the benchmarks and where we were on that. So the 24, it's hard to even keep a handle on all. 24-25 yearbook came in several weeks ago. We got that done, and that was a Jostens book. Bailey Koger is our yearbook sponsor now. She's doing a fantastic job. I get glowing reports on her from Jostens all the time. So we're in good shape moving forward. Go back to the 23-24 yearbook. That's a Jostens. That is a Life Touch book. We'd had a lot of trouble with our rep. We ended up not even having a rep. So we had a lot of trouble with that. We gave that to Michael Taylor at the middle school to finish for us, and he did a remarkable job. And I understand that that yearbook was completed and submitted to Life Touch, and it's reportedly scheduled to ship on March 10th. And at that point, we're golden. We're good on yearbook. So when yearbooks arrive, Ms. Thomas is going to contact all the stakeholders who already paid for a yearbook and inform them of the process for reimbursement. They'll pick up their yearbooks at our office, and they'll get their yearbook. They're going to get a form to fill out to submit for reimbursement, and they'll have a copy of their original receipt from when they paid for this yearbook a long time ago. And once all that's collected, we'll submit those to admin, and then we'll get them checks. So they'll get their books and an apology with that money. So that hopefully redeems our reputation a little bit. I even had a parent for some reason tell me tonight, well, the 2021 yearbook was really late coming out too. So it's been going on a while. We're about to put it to rest. We're almost there. So I appreciate you.
Thank you for handling it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for handling it.
What about the people that advertised? Have they been reimbursed or?
I believe the answer to that is I think there were no ads, but I will tell you this, anybody, you got a receipt for whatever you put into that yearbook, you're getting reimbursed for that whole thing.
Okay.
So if you did, it's covered either way. If you put an ad in there, you're getting reimbursed.
Sounds good, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
This in the land sale.
So the last information item, and if y'all know Harry, he never misses, so he is sick. And so I was just gonna give you an update, on the St. Paul bus. You know, this was the replacement of the one that burned up, and Harry's been having a hard time. You would think if you're getting a new bus, it wouldn't be that hard to get, but it's not on our end, it's on the other end, but we are getting the bus Friday, so.
How many passengers?
I'm not sure, Bobby. I assume that it's just like the one that burned up,
Yeah,
so.
I think we requested to have at least the same, and I believe it was like a 71 passenger, maybe. wrong.
72.
Is it?
72.
When I talked to Mark this
72.
afternoon.
Okay,
The one that we're
thank
getting.
you, Bailey.
Yes, thank you, Bailey.
Okay. So we're gonna go to executive session for employment. Mr. Chalk, would you like to join us?
Yes.
Where are we going? All right, we're back from executive session talking about employment. All right, so we need to do those two separately, correct? The
Yes, ma'am.
Main list and the, which one do you wanna do first?
I'll go ahead and I'll read off
So
the,
wanna do these first?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so first I need a motion to approve, I can't find mine, can I steal
Yeah.
yours? The personnel hires and transfers and resignations.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, and second? Steve, all in favor? Okay, alright.
And I sent the list to Paula so she can email it. So,
Do you wanna read those before we do the next one, or just?
oh, you want me to go ahead? I mean, I thought we
Yeah.
went ahead and approved it just now, so.
Well, we approved that one,
Well, the
we made
list,
it backwards.
yeah, well, all we need is.
Okay, so then can I get a motion to approve the certified employment list for the year 26-27 as presented by the superintendent? All right, all in favor?
Right, and if you want me to, if the board wants, I'll go back and read off, I mean, it's on the agenda. As far as the personnel hires that were listed, were certified Sandra Oliver, GT teacher, Diane Schott, ALE teacher at Huntsville Middle School. And then we have the certified contract list, which would be very, very lengthy. Classified hires were Kalina Bonds, route driver, Sarah Mahan, special ed parapro at the intermediate, and then Bailey Cotton as the interim district maintenance director. And then our transfers were classified, Elizabeth Hill from special education parapro at Huntsville High School to special education parapro at the primary school, and Rebecca Hepner, teacher at the primary school to counselor at the primary school. And then our resignations of certified were, so we did have a misprint though, so which one was Vicky on the, should have been on?
Yeah,
No,
on
that'll be
certified.
certified.
It's, sorry, it's marked out in their packets.
Okay,
Or on there.
Yeah, it's good.
No, it's not marked out.
Oh, Janine said she was gonna mark it out, sorry.
Nothing's marked out on mine.
alright, so,
Well, if they're on there twice, you only have to vote on them once.
so for the resignations for certified, it was Vicky, and I don't wanna butcher her name. Literal, teacher at the primary school who's retiring. Brenda Schaefer, teacher at the primary school who's retiring. Crystal Espinoza, teacher at the middle school. Chad Purrier, teacher at the middle school. And Kate Manuel, teacher at the intermediate school. And then our classified were Samantha Burnett, custodian at St. Paul. Carrie Davidson, just as the pre-K director at the primary school. Susan, is it On? Route driver at the transportation department. And those are it. So, and we've already voted on them, so I just wanted to say those out loud.
Well, thank you to Ms. Littrell and Ms. Schaefer for all your many, many years of service.
43.
Absolutely.
How many?
Yeah.
43.
Was
I
it
told you it was longer
39
than I've
in
been-
district?
39 in district.
I was gonna say Charlie had her for kindergarten and he's gonna be 40 this year, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's been around a while.
Amazing. She's amazing.
Alright,
And
is
poor
that-
Tanya, gonna be down another sped teacher, right? Is it Chad?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Alright, if that's all, if there's nothing else, take a motion to dismiss.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor? They raised their hand so fast, I can't get who's first and second.
We're getting cracked.
Thank you.